This is 5th grade ELA, text set 4. Author study Joyce Sidman. This is the last book from her that we will be doing. Our goal is to notice how illustrations add to the meaning of the text and also inject humor and atmosphere. So we are going to be looking at the illustrations today very hard and seeing how they affect the mood and the atmosphere of this book. Okay. The title of this book is Dark Emperor and Other Poems of the Night by Joyce Sidman. What 2 words would you use to describe the night? We've read several other Joyce Sidman books before this one. What are you expecting to see and hear in this book? Here's the contents to tell us what we're going to be reading about. And let's read Welcome to the Night. To all of you who crawl and creep, who buzz and chirp and hoot and peep, who wake at dusk and throw off sleep, welcome to the night. To who make the forest sing, who dip and dodge on silent wing, who flutter, who hover, clasp and cling, welcome to the night. Come feel the cool and shadowed breeze, come smell your way among the trees, come touch rough bark and leathered leaves, welcome to the night. The night's a sea, a dappled dark, the night's a feast of sound and spark, the night's a wild enchanted park, welcome to the night. So what do you think this poem is about? What are some of creatures the author might be talking about in this poem? Okay. At night falls, the nocturnal world wakes. Mice begin to stir, moths flutter into the starlight, and deer step out from hidden places to roam and forage. Having rested all day in a hollow tree, the raccoon lumbers down at dusk to search for food. Curious, intelligent, obnoxious, the raccoon has nimble front paws that are good for digging, climbing, and prying open almost anything. Its well-developed sense of touch, almost unparalleled in the mammal world, serves it well in the darkness. Making its unhurried way across the forest, the raccoon forages by feel. Inside a log for insects, down a hole for eggs, even underwater for frogs or crawfish. How does this create the mood? Snail at moonrise. Each night snail unhooks himself from earth, climbs the slick trail of silver, up the horizon of log, up stems of leaves to the dewy tips of seeking, with his tiny sandpaper tongue morsels of green to mix in his dark, moist body and spin into whirls of light. Shell maker, moon maker, gleaming silver bright, each night, darkness into light. Night is cooler, wetter, in some ways safer for many animals. Woodland snails, for example, have moist, slug-like bodies that are in constant danger of drying out. During the day, they hide in damp places under logs and stones, but at night they emerge to search for food, riding on a cushion of slime which protects them from sharp objects. They do not chew, but rather scrape plant material into their mouth with a tongue that is covered by rows of tiny teeth. Young snails add a layer to their shells each night while they feed. Their bodies produce a special material that hardens at the lip of the shell, extending and widening its perfectly spiral shape. I was supposed to tell you, this poem, so I'm going to go back to this poem about midnight. This poem uses a lot of figurative language, just like many of the other poems we've read by this author. Who do you think she is referring to when she says, "To you who make them forests sing"? Okay. And then after Snail at moonrise, the author uses language in interesting ways in this poem. She makes the snail seem like a magical creature. Love poem of the primrose moth. Evening unfolds like a primrose, pale and scented, the moon a primrose, 2 faces glowing. Which is sweeter, night flight or the nectar of a primrose? I have only one true love, it is the primrose. At dawn I fold my sherbet-colored wings and become a primrose. So what do you notice about the way the author used the factual information about the snail's slim trail to write the poem? How does she use language to create a specific mood? So we're still, I need to go back to that. How does she use factual information about the snail's slime trail to write the poem? Okay. Since it's difficult to see in the dark, night creatures use other senses to move through their world. Smell, touch, hearing, even taste. Their plum-like antennae of night-flying moth actually smell the air, guiding moths to both mates and food. The dainty primrose moth, barely half an inch long, is drawn to the smell of one particular flower, the evening primrose, the petals of which open at dusk. Primrose moth caterpillars feed only one evening primrose leaves. An adult moth stay near this night blooming flower, sipping its nectar and polluting it in the process. During the day, they cling to its stems, perfectly camouflaged, the exact rosy yellow color of an evening primrose bud. Dark Emperor. Perched, missile, almost invisible, you preen silent feathers, swivel your sleek satellite dish of head. What fills the cool moons of your mesmerizing eyes? What waves of sound funnel toward those waiting ears? What symphonies of squeaks and skitters, darts and rustles swell the vast, breathing darkness of your realm? O dark emperor of hooked face and hungry eye, turn that awful beak away from me. Discard the tiny hiccup of my heart as I flee. Nocturnal animals have specially adapted senses of hunting, whereas raccoons use extra sensitive paws to feel the prey. Great horned owls have huge eyes and extraordinary hearing. Their wide, flat faces channel sound toward their large ear cavities on the sides of their head. They can also swivel their head more than halfway in either direction. Although not all the way around, as night falls, the great horned owl moves from its deep woods, rose to a high perch near the forest edge, with eyes and ears 100 times more sensitive than humans. It scouts for anything from salamanders to mice to rabbits, like other owls. Its feathers are soft-edged, so it can fly silently and pounce without warning on unsuspected prey. Oak after dark. As nighttime rustles at my knee, I stand in silent gravity and quietly continue chores of feeding leaves and sealing pores. While beetles whisper in my bark, while warbles roast in branches dark, I stretch my roots into the hill and slowly drink my fill. 1,000 crickets scream my name, yet I remain the same. I do not rest, I do not sleep, and all my promises I keep, to stand while all the seasons fly, to anchor earth, to torch the sky. What are they talking about? What was that poem about? Although they don't look it, trees, like most plants, are constantly busy. All day they change sunlight into food through a process called photosynthesis. They grow new branches and give off oxygen and moisture. The leaves are nibbled, twigs broken, and bark attacked by insects and fungi. Nighttime, when food production shuts down, is the time for recovery and repair. The roots of oaks and other trees take in extra water at night to make up for daytime's loss and distribute it, along with food that leaves have made. Through a complex system of veins, trees also grow new roots at night and repair themselves by sealing off wound sites and strengthening newly formed leaves. Did you guys know that about trees? I did not know that about trees. Night spider's advice. Build a frame and stick to it. I always say, life's a circle. Just keep it going around. Do you work, then sit back and see what falls in your lap? Eat your triumphs, eat your mistakes. That way your belly will always be full. Use what you have. Rest when you need to. Dawn will come soon enough. Someone has to remake the world each night. It might as well be you. So many insects are busy after dark, hunting for food, attracting mates, or laying eggs. Some spiders are nocturnal too. The orb spider builds a new spiral-shaped web each night, often in the same spot and using the same anchor threads, web silk. An incredibly strong elastic thread is formed as a liquid inside the spider's body and pulled out from 6 spinnerets in its abdomen. Each spinneret produces a different kind of silk, some strong, some silky, some for making egg sacs. When making, the spider first lays down spoke threads, which will serve as walkways. Then it weaves a spiral of sticky silk to snag at night insects such as flies, moths, and mosquitoes. I am a baby porky pit. I am a baby porky pit. My paws are small, my nose is wet, and as I nurse against my mom, we moo and coo a soft duet. I am a baby porcupine. I cannot climb up branches yet. While Mom sleeps in the trees, I curl beneath a log till the sun has set. I am a baby porcupine. I nibble in the nighttime wet, a sprig of leaves, a tuft of grass, and hidden spots I won't forget. I am a baby porcupine. My fur is soft, my eyes are jet, but I can deal with any threat. I raise my quills and I purr. So nocturnal animal babies must learn the ways of the night from their parents in order to survive. A baby porcupine called a porcupit spends the day hidden under a stone or log while its mother sleeps on a branch above. When evening falls, the mother comes down to greet her baby, and the two sing to each other while the porcupine nurses. And then I'm going to stop there. So, how did the illustrations add to the meaning of the text and also inject humor and atmosphere?